Welcome to the Thickness Podcast. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Thickness Podcast, episode 4, The Road to Mera Peak. So the last episode, guys, I had a good bit of feedback on the new sort of layout of the studio and all that, and I really appreciate everybody getting back to me. Much appreciated. And all the feedback as well, and all the nice comments. If you haven't liked, subscribed, shared the podcast at this stage, I wouldn't mind if you did. It really helps with searching and all that madness. So yeah, look it, we're into it. Episode 4. I've titled this one Waterfalls, Blood and the 15-Foot Fall. So yeah, when we last left yous all, I was tucked up away in a cool tea house, and we were looking forward to the next day. We're going to cover 3 days that, you know, really showed the ebb and flow of the whole experience in the Himalayas. You know, breathtaking beauty, the waterfalls, the canopy of trees, you know, the unexpected turns that expedition can take, you know, and the slow grind and the physical exertion that you go through. So this is kind of a journey from Paya to Chamracola. So this is part 1. It's day 4. So Friday, the 3rd of October, the team wake up. We're up in Paya after I had a really, really good sleep. You know, it was one of those sleeps where you wake just completely refreshed from it. We start moving at around 9:30 that morning, and it is again, it's just through, you know, landscape, and it's landscape that feels like we've just been dropped into something out of a movie. I said Jurassic Park before. It's like Jurassic Park, or like for some of those seasoned veterans, Predator. There's waterfalls crashing in the background. You know, just all this noise, rustling. It was just unbelievably serene and surreal. So yeah, the extract from the diary is, today involved hiking through what can only be described as Jurassic Park territory. So there we are again. I mean, it really was just, I couldn't put any other words on it other than that. It was just like Jurassic Park. It was waterfall after waterfall, each one getting better than the last. It was just beautiful. So that was just a quick diary entry. You know, the morale of the team and all, we were buzzing. We were buzzing after what was a really long couple of days beforehand. We were just out and we were in it. We were just moving at this stage, you know, and it was excellent, to use a really shit word. But yeah, the morale was really, really high. There was a lot of singing. But we were only allowed to sing songs that had the word B in it. And we were moving through the alphabet fairly rapidly. Good laugh. Aoife really, really made me laugh with this one. She did an absolutely stellar Lilo and Stitch impression. Just unreal, so it was, you know. I had to record it to send it back home. It was just that good. But yeah, look at, I mean, you know, that was part and parcel of getting through the trekking period of it, you know, and making the hours feel like mere minutes, you know. So yeah, the next entry into the diary was, conversation was a bit heavy, talk of addiction, drugs and mental health, and that was just me. I was glad to get back moving after lunch, but I have found a new love for honey, lemon and ginger tea. Yeah, I'm not going to dwell or dive into that there. As I said, there was talk of addiction, drugs and mental health, and that was just me talking at lunchtime. Other people were talking to, and they had their own issues, but we've said that they were private things, but it was heavy talk after such a gentle push of a morning. But man, honey, lemon and ginger tea is on the radar back here in Frost's. So yeah, that day ends with we get back to the Everest Lodge. We have I had a cheese pizza. I was like, oh, that'll up the carbs and the energy in that there. It was teeming with onions. Teeming. We did a bit of dancing with the Sherpas afterwards, a bit of crack, liven up the place and get a bit of heat going. And yeah, I mean, like, that was kind of that. I think that day I found the first leech bite, which was grand. Like, it was pissing blood, but you just get on with these sort of things. The end of that day, Jason had kind of said this: tomorrow's an easy day. Little did we know what we had coming for day 5. It was going to be a tough one. So day 5. This is really all to do with a bit of an episode that we had on this day. Saturday starts out, the easy day that we had thought we were going to get, which was far from it. Started out with thunderstorms that were just brutal. Really was. It was absolutely torrential downpours. Never let up at all. We stopped at a tea house after a couple of hours, and everybody soaked. Again, more lemon, ginger, honey. We were trapped in there. It was, you couldn't look outside the door. It was that heavy. It was that heavy the porters wouldn't even get up and go. Like, anytime we made walkway towards the door, they were like, no, sit down. There was the whole talk of the goat that wasn't a goat, that was a goat that some thought was a calf. None of us veterinary surgeons or anything like that there, but it was surely a goat. But anyway, when we did get moving, this is when things took a turn for the worst. Past a lovely waterfall on a really small wooden bridge, wouldn't have been 10 foot of a passing. Still, the rain had just let off, I think, at that stage, from memory. Me and Liz and Brian had went on, I think. And just, we were standing waiting, and there was no sign of anybody coming around the corner. And I put my head back, and the next thing, everybody was standing over the bridge. We went back, and Jason was standing over the foot of the bridge. Leslie Ann was there. I said, what's going on? And Leslie Ann says, Maria's fallen off the bridge into the river. So she fell 15 foot. in her head, just up on the edge of the temple here, and was still in the river. Our Sherpas ran down, pulled her out of it. And, we eventually got her back up onto the bridge. But it was scary. It was scary. If you can just imagine, you're in the middle of nowhere, and when I seen Jason's face, I knew something was wrong, because he looked worried. Liz and Caroline, both first aiders in that there, started attending to Mary. She had a right significant clatter to her head, like pissing blood. And she was soaked from being in the river. But all she said was that when she fell into the river, she just said to herself, I know I need to get out of here, to get up onto the riverbank. So, she showed a toughness there that I have never seen, and I've seen some pretty tough people and some people in some bad situations, but what she proved and shown that day was unbelievable. So we got back on our feet, and Jason said, well, we go to the next tea house. It's about an hour or so of a hike, and was Mary fit for it, and that there. So we decided to go on. So the next entry into the diary is we hike for another few hours to the tea house to assess the situation and attend to Mary. My gut feeling is she's done and has to go to the hospital to check her head. Liz reckons the same. Jason breaks the news to Mary she won't be able to continue, and she's heartbroken. There's a helicopter to take her to the hospital, but the weather's too bad, and the heli won't make it in. The cloud cover is atrocious. Jason's going to stay with her. We have to push on. So that's the entry. The cloud cover was right down into the valley, so the heli wasn't going to make it in. Mary was just absolutely heartbroken. We had wrapped her up. We got dry clothes on her. We got soup into her and stuff like that there. But everybody was just in a bit of shock, because it was traumatic. We were all trying to keep a brave face on us as much as we could. But it was just, it was one of them things. A head injury is nothing to mess with. And, the right decision was made, as much as I didn't really crib about it or anything like that there, but she was heartbroken. She was, but, we had to move on then at that stage. So it was tough to leave her. It was tough to leave her. I had a good connection with her, talking about her daughter and stuff like that there when we were hiking. So, it's tough to lose anybody out of a team that's, so fresh into it and just starting to sort of gel together, and something like that happened. But, thankfully we were able to get looking after her, So anyway, that night we kind of sort of fed up. Once we got to the next tea house, there was no Wi-Fi to call back home. Just a feckin' storm again. And then again, another batch of feckin' leeches decide to stick on to me. I got 5 on my leg that night when we went to get into the tea house, get into fresh clothes and get something to eat. It was a quiet evening. Everybody was sort of fed up. Day 6, I've labelled it Pigs, Kittens and Patience. The night was filled with serious thunder and lightning, and it just lit up the room. The room had an open window, just lit up the valley below us. But we got up the next morning. I got up anyway, and the sun was just shining down. It was beautiful. There was sun blazing down, and the views of the mountains and the peaks all around us were just, like, I stood for a couple of minutes just in the absolute peace and quiet, and just looking around me and just taking it all in. We had for breakfast, and a kitten takes a real shine to Brain, and Brain seemed to take a real shine to the kitten too. He was happy enough having his breakfast from there. So yeah, anyway, we take the move towards Chatracola. The rain again started off once. We were all sort of so hopeful that morning. It was sunny, bright. We'd done our stretches as a team, and we took off thinking, no, we'll not need the raincoats. We'll not. I would say 5-10 minutes into the hike, raincoats were back on, and it was like, oh, again. There's a whole heap of fairly dangerous river crossings in this section as well. It was again, we thought we were getting a bit of a reprise from the weather, and it was just back into it. So yeah, Jason rejoins us. He stopped for tea at a tea house. Again, lemon, ginger, honey, some pancakes I think I had that day. Took off jackets and stuff like that, and hats, and there was a lovely fire on in there, and we started drying off some of our gear. Jason landed in with two of the lads. They ran back, so they got Mera onto the helicopter that morning, and they took her off back to Lukla, back to the hospital. So he had an update on her for us. She had bruised ribs, lips, bit of bruised thigh, and a head that isn't right. I fall into that category, but no, she had to get checked over. So she was waiting at the hospital, and contacting her family and stuff like that there. So we were all just kind of, I won't say we were at our breaking point, but I know a lot of us were struggling at that stage. Struggling just with the way things were going, and after what had happened, So we power on anyway again, back into the hiking. This is back through some absolutely fantastic, some fantastic rivers and waterfalls, stuff that you just, you wouldn't think of in your dreams of seeing, and what the amount of rainfall that had came down, the rivers and that they were gushing. Some of the bigger, heavier ones that you had to walk across had a couple of bridge crossings, which were, lovely, but it was very much, Jason was like, get across it, don't hang around, don't be stopping for pictures, get over it, get to the other side. We were all delighted then to get back to the next tea house. Everybody said, Jesus, I hope it has a fire like we had at lunchtime. This was a new tea house, and we're going bound to walked in, nice big stove, centre of the room, lovely big room. We're all like, perfect. I go up to change out of my wet gear and put some dry clothes on me, and I find another 6 leeches on the outside of my sock once I take my boot off. And I'm like, right, that's grand, they're on the outside. Once I took the sock off, pissing blood again. Whatever's in my blood, the leeches absolutely adore. So yeah, I was getting fed up finding them hers, really was. At this stage, it's 7 o'clock. and it is really, really getting cold. Go down to the main room, order dinner. Room's full of smoke, and the fire's not on. And there's 4 lads standing around it, trying to get it going. It looked like a day out for the council. Just boys faffing about. But the room was full of smoke, and they'd get it going and then it'd go out, and the same again. To this day, today I'm recording, it is the 3rd of February. Some of my items have been washed 4 times and I can still smell the smoke in them. That's how bad it was. Some of the team are struggling this evening. Different issues. Cold, hungry, tired, marry. You know, a lot of things on a lot of people's heads and a lot of people fed up. There was no crack that evening. Nobody had the will or the gra to get, you know, anything moving. So cold. I was just like, right, I ate and I went to bed, like. So yeah, there was no Wi-Fi, there was no charging of a phone. There was just, you know, just a longing to talk to home and everything else. So yeah, last entry into that there is patience is wearing thin at this stage. So yeah, you know, that was it. The Jurassic Park magic has kind of been washed away at that stage, you know. And the reality of it all, you know, the reality of expedition life and getting through the Kumbu and, you know, losing a team member and, you know, being early into it. Still a long way, long way ahead of us. So, yeah, that's it. Yeah, okay, guys. I'm going to bow out now at this. Again, hope you are enjoying the show. If you find it in your heart to like and subscribe, and if you can share any of the episodes or any of the reels and stuff like that there. We're on Instagram, The Thickness Podcast, not on Facebook yet. But yeah, look at, you'll find me anywhere, drop me a message, and keep the comments coming, guys. Really appreciate it. So yeah. So that's it for the moment, folks. Until the next episode. And look, we'll see you all again very soon. Thank you. Hawaii.